Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was listening to the oral arguments in the affirmative action case, Fisher versus the University of Texas, and he chimed in with this gem of a comment. Quote, "There are those who contend that it does not benefit African Americans to get them into the University of Texas, where they do not do well, as opposed to having them go to a less advanced school, a slower track school, where they do well. Most of the black scientists in this country don't come from schools like the University of Texas. They come from lesser schools where they do not feel that they're being pushed ahead in classes that are too fast for them." Oh, God. Think about how profoundly irrational that comment is. Because he keeps referring to them. You know how they are. I mean, look at them. Maybe lesser schools are better for them. So he's generalizing, and he's lumping in, and he's talking about broad rules or a broad solution for all black people. All right, Antonin, that's kind of like the definition of bigotry. But the most adorable part is that Antonin Scalia is lecturing others about intelligence. You know, maybe you're just, you're not fast enough to get it. Maybe you should go to lesser schools. Maybe that's a better place for you. Antonin Scalia, for those of you who don't know, is a national embarrassment. The guy is an absolute joke. His beliefs are absurd. He doesn't care about evidence. He doesn't care about facts. He claims that he's a literalist in the constitutional sense. So whatever it says, that's the end of the conversation. And, you know, I'm not going to ever inject my opinion, when he does the opposite. He does it all the time. So, for example, when it's a case on marijuana laws, what does he say? States' rights, schmates' rights. Forget that. The federal government overrides the state laws, so where they've legalized pot doesn't matter. The federal government can crack down. Now, flip the script, and when it was Arizona trying to implement their own immigration policy that was different from federal policy, what did Antonin Scalia say? He was like, Arizona of course has the right to do that. Federal policy is irrelevant. Supremacy clause of the Constitution that says the federal law overrides state law? No. If Arizona doesn't have a right to control their borders how they choose, well, then they're not even a sovereign state anymore. So he flipped. He flipped completely based on his personal opinion, based on the political issue in question. He did the thing that he claims I would never do. No. My personal opinion is aside, and I only go based off of what the Constitution says. So here he is, lecturing black people, broadly speaking, they, black people, about how, maybe you're just slow. Maybe you're not with it enough. Okay, Antonin, let's look at some of your comments. He once said, quote, "If we cannot have moral feelings against homosexuality, can we have it against murder?" He compared homosexuality to murder. I feel like pounding the gavel and ending the segment. That's it. That's it. You're in no place to lecture anybody else about intelligence, tough guy. For fuck's sake, you don't get the basic differences there? You don't understand that somebody who's gay is not physically harming anybody else or taking away anybody else's rights? And it's consenting adults doing what they want? So for you to intervene in that, you're the asshole? Whereas murder is literally affecting somebody else and taking away their existence, taking away all of their rights. You're going to compare homosexuality to murder, and you're going to lecture other people about, maybe you're just not smart enough. Maybe you're not smart enough. For fuck's sake, man. You're not smart enough to be a manager at an Arby's. People now have started tweeting at me like, fuck, lay off Arby's, dude, because apparently I say that fairly often. But it's true, this guy, it is an insult to managers at Arby's to compare Antonin Scalia to them, because I'd put my money on any manager at any Arby's to be more intelligent than this guy. I got more for you. Here's how intelligent he is. This is his infamous devil exchange in an interview with New York Magazine. He literally believes in the devil. The interviewer said, "You believe in heaven and hell?" He responds, "Oh, of course I do. Don't you believe in heaven and hell? Interviewer, no. Scalia, oh my. Interviewer, does that mean I'm not going? Scalia, unfortunately not. Interviewer, wait, to heaven or hell? Scalia, it doesn't mean you're not going to hell just because you don't believe in it. That's Catholic doctrine. Everyone is going one place or another. Interviewer, can we talk about your drafting process? Scalia interjects, I even believe in the devil. Interviewer, you do? Scalia, of course! Yeah, he's a real person. Hey, come on, that's standard Catholic doctrine. Every Catholic believes that. Interviewer, have you seen evidence of the devil lately? Scalia, you know, it is curious. In the Gospels, the devil's doing all sorts of things. He's making pigs run off cliffs. He's possessing people and whatnot. And that doesn't happen very much anymore. It's because he's smart. Interviewer, you're saying the devil is persuading people to not believe in God. Couldn't there be other reasons to not believe? Scalia, well, there certainly can be other reasons, but it certainly favors the devil's desires. I mean, come on. That's the explanation for why there's not demonic possession all over the place. That always puzzled me. What happened to the devil, you know? He used to be all over the place. He used to be all over the New Testament. What happened to him? He got wilier. Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo. The dude's out to lunch. No, this dude is a dunce. This dude is a grade A moron. And you know what the saddest thing is? He has genuinely convinced the far right that he's the opposite. That he's a genius and a brilliant intellectual. Oftentimes, people on the far right will point to people like George Will and Antonin Scalia as the intellectual powerhouse that they have on their side. I'm not kidding. This is your intellectual powerhouse? I hate to see what your less intellectual people look like.